I woke up this morning, strolled to the window, and looked as far as my eyes could see. Visible clouds were gathering atop the invisible confusion that is scattered across the faces of those passing by. I hear the rumbling pressure that is pushing the pedals of cars racing by. I can see the tangible weariness that many of us don't know what to do with, and sense the insecurities that drive humanity every day toward the edge of implosion. I see the unseen hands of uncertainties and worries for the future driving the vehicles of our daily living, leaving us merely existing, scrambling for scraps of survival. Like vultures, darkness is hovering with claws ready to feast on hopeless souls. Maybe I shouldn't be looking that far. Perhaps I should narrow my focus inward. I am not moving, so it cannot be said that I am driven by anything at the moment. But I'm stalled, standing at my window, watching a mobile world that is going nowhere. I am quarantined, not by fear, but by one variant or the other that I might have picked along my pursuit of meaningfulness, which is now warring to take over and ravage my body. So I'm locked down by something I was trying to escape. In this prison I once called home, although I am not frightened by the fear that is wrinkling the faces of those running around in circles, yet I am puzzled by what has been, by what is, and what will be in the future. We are not even sure of how to navigate. As I ponder through this, I am reminded of the beginning in Genesis. Did God wake up like me, look out, and see a vast emptiness filled with nothingness? Darkness was not hovering like it is now. Darkness was presiding over all the confusion that thrived then. Darkness loves to rule with iron fists, and though it was toppled in the beginning, still accompanied by his best friend emptiness, it is hovering, trying to take over the world like it did in the beginning. But what did God do with that pervading darkness and wearying emptiness? How did he make a difference, change the atmosphere, and thus the rhythm of living? He did not allow himself to be sucked into the nothingness of a time and be discharged by permeating darkness. No, he took charge, stood up, stepped out of his comfort zone, opened his mouth, and began to do what has never been done before. God started creating. That oppressive darkness and consuming emptiness inspired God to do what had never been recorded before and began what we consider the writing of history, which formed what we refer to today as the beginning. All that was wrong in the world that existed then inspired God to step up and begin a new thing that has never been heard of or seen before. All that was wrong moved God to start a new beginning with all that is right. And after each move, he would pat himself on the back. That was good. And thus, from one word to another, that formed one creation after another, God changed the face of heaven and earth and made a fresh start of an old world. As you wake up today and look out into a world that is so broken, riddled with hatred, confusion, and uncertainties, spilling with losses of all that is good and dear, what are you going to do? Above the voices of all that is going wrong and getting out of hand, can you hear the call? The darkness is calling the light in you. All the wrong is calling for all the right you know. Will you let the light shine? I encourage you to start a journal with me today as we journey through the year with God and His Word and learn God's response for every situation so we can pattern our responses accordingly. Starting today, what are you going to do different? What good are you going to do about all the wrong that's going on in the world today? It doesn't have to be a mega leap, but it has to be a step, a positive choice, maybe a change in the way you view others or think about things. It has to be something definite, something that can be tracked over time to recognize the shift that is bound to accompany such results. Even if it doesn't change the world, let it be a step that touches you, blesses you, changes you, or your attitude going forward. What good will you do today in the face of all that's not so good? It might seem little today, but one step at a time, we are creating ripples that will change our lives, our families, our communities, and the world at large, one day at a time. Remember, you can choose to get sucked into darkness and be emptied of the will to leave, or you can choose like God, to take charge, stand up, step out of your comfort zone, open your mouth, and begin to do what may not make sense, but has been proven to work time and time again. You can begin to reframe your world by words that are living instead of dead, words that are active instead of reactive, words that recharge instead of discharge, words that empower instead of cripple, words that create instead of destroy. It's a new beginning, friends. It's a chaotic world we got on our hands. Now, what are you going to do about it? The world cannot change itself. We cannot wait for everyone else to change, but we can kickstart the change we are expecting. You and me, right now, right where we find ourselves. This is a call for us to be like God, see like God, speak like God, and live like God in a world that is desperately in need of the presence and the power of the God we know and love. It is a call to serve God through doors He opens and opportunities He provides. A call to the star in you to take your place in these dark times and shine like only you can. As you evaluate your life and circumstances, can you hear the call? Check out the links and scriptures below for additional help. Feel free to share your thoughts and answers in the comment below. Be inspired. You are a star, and it is your time to shine. Don't forget to subscribe and share this with family and friends. Jump in and join me in the next video on this series of New Beginning as we explore what is the debt you owe you. Happy New Beginning.